Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to kind of take you guys on a journey to the heart of Toyota.
All right.
Yeah, you've sent us a really interesting collection of sources,
Mhm.
earnings reports, briefings, presentations,
Yeah.
and we're hoping to untangle what they reveal about Toyota's current strategy.
And I think what's really interesting is that this isn't just about cars.
Yeah.
We're seeing Toyota grapple with, some real
Yeah.
production challenges, a fiercely competitive market, and even political uncertainties.
Right.
It's a fascinating glimpse into how this global giant is adapting.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. We
Yeah.
have their second quarter financials for the fiscal year 2025,
Okay.
transcripts from both the English and the Japanese versions of their briefings,
Interesting.
and those investor slides that always offer a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to kind of figure out what's driving Toyota's decisions at this really critical juncture.
Exactly. And I think one of the first things that jumps out is this production roller coaster they've been on.
Oh, yeah.
They had to contend with production halts due to those certification issues,
Right.
plus a conscious decision to pause and reevaluate their manufacturing processes.
That seems like a risky move, like in such a fast-paced industry.
Yeah.
What made them decide to kind of hit the brakes like that?
Well, their messaging really emphasizes prioritizing safety and quality above all else.
Okay.
They're willing to take a short-term hit to sales volume if it means upholding those standards.
Right.
But what's really interesting is their projected comeback.
Okay.
They're aiming for a global production pace of 10 million units annually,
Wow.
with North American operations expected to be fully back on track by early 2025.
So they're not just bouncing back, they're aiming to be like a major player in the global market.
Yeah.
But how do they plan to achieve that, especially after such a significant setback?
Their strategy hinges on this really deep understanding of their workforce and a commitment to communication.
Okay.
They use this term Gemba,
Oh, yeah.
which means the real place, to describe going directly to the shop floor and identifying potential issues before they become major problems.
Oh, wow.
It's like having a finger on the pulse of the entire operation.
So it's not just about having systems in place. It's about creating a culture where workers feel empowered to speak up
Yeah.
and contribute to problem solving.
Precisely. And this quote from their financial results briefing, I think really drives that point home.
Okay.
We have been having clear communication with the workplace, and we were able to confirm to the extent of which we were not able to really become aware of this certification issue.
Wow.
So they're acknowledging that they had blind spots and are actively working to address them.
That's a pretty refreshing level of transparency
Yeah.
for a company of their size.
Mm.
But let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about competition.
Okay.
In a market that's just flooded with discounts and incentives, how is Toyota maintaining its pricing power?
What's fascinating here is that they're actually forecasting lower sales expenses than initially planned,
Really?
which means they're not relying on those traditional incentives as heavily. This suggests a lot of confidence in their brand and products.
So it's less about slashing prices
Right.
and more about offering value
Yeah,
and building customer loyalty. Is that right?
exactly. And I think their lean operations, which we discussed a little bit earlier, are a key factor here.
Okay.
By running a tight ship and minimizing waste in their production processes, they can offer competitive prices without sacrificing quality.
So they're kind of playing the long game, building brand loyalty, and letting the quality of their products speak for itself.
Yeah, and that's reinforced by their emphasis on customer relationships.
Okay.
They talk about creating in-order communications that value a trusting relationship with each customer. It almost suggests that they're not just transactional. They're trying to build long-term connections with their buyers.
This seems to be kind of a recurring theme with Toyota,
Yeah,
a focus on the human element, whether it's their workforce or their customers.
absolutely. But it's also important, I think, to consider the changing landscape of the automotive industry.
Okay.
Selling cars is just one piece of the puzzle now.
Right.
They're expanding their value chain, which is generating over 100 billion yen in additional revenue each year.
So what's driving that growth?
Yeah,
Are they branching out into other industries?
it's more about expanding the ecosystem around their core product.
Okay.
So think about dealers who are now offering service packages, warranties, and other add-ons.
Okay.
It's about retaining those customers
Yeah.
and offering them ongoing value beyond the initial purchase.
So it's about creating more holistic car ownership experience.
And this ties directly into the emergence of software-defined vehicles, or SDVs.
Okay.
Essentially, cars are becoming more like computers on wheels,
Right.
offering the potential for upgrades, personalized features, and even new revenue streams for Toyota.
So are they saying that down the line they might make more money from the software and services than from selling the physical car itself?
They haven't explicitly said that, but
Right.
they're definitely positioning themselves to capitalize on this shift.
Interesting.
They see SDVs as a way to stabilize earnings and create these new opportunities for growth.
It's a smart move considering how rapidly technology is evolving.
Yeah.
But let's talk about their people a little bit.
Okay.
They're increasing investment in their workforce, even while making cuts in other areas.
Mhm.
Why is that such a priority for them?
It goes back to their core philosophy of valuing their employees and recognizing their contributions.
Okay.
They're investing heavily in training and development programs, even creating initiatives like the Area 35 project.
Now, you mentioned this project earlier.
Yeah.
I'm still a little fuzzy on what it actually entails.
Okay.
What does eliminating waste actually look like in practice?
Think of it as a company-wide effort to identify and eliminate any process or activity that doesn't add value to the customer.
Okay.
This could mean streamlining production lines,
Right.
reducing unnecessary paperwork,
Okay.
or even empowering employees to find more efficient ways of working.
So it's about empowering workers to be problem solvers
Yeah.
and efficiency experts.
Uh-huh.
But how does that square with their increasing use of automation?
It's a delicate balancing act.
Okay.
They're not looking to replace workers with robots.
Right.
Rather, they're aiming to free up their human workforce
Okay.
to focus on higher value tasks that require, creativity, problem solving,
right.
and human interaction.
So it's about leveraging technology to augment human capabilities.
Exactly.
Not to eliminate them entirely.
And it's not just about their internal workforce.
Okay.
They're working to ensure that their suppliers have access to a stable and skilled labor pool as well.
Gotcha.
This kind of strengthens their entire supply chain and reinforces their commitment to a collaborative ecosystem.
It sounds like they're weaving a pretty intricate tapestry here.
Yeah.
But let's zoom out a little bit and look at their global strategy,
Okay.
specifically in the Chinese market where they've faced some headwinds.
Yeah. But despite the challenges, they've managed to remain profitable in China, on par with their domestic competitors. And what's particularly fascinating is their adaptation to the unique preferences of Chinese car buyers.
I'm all ears. What are some of the things they've learned about this market?
For example, their research shows that Chinese consumers prioritize the comfort of sitting in a car
Really?
over the comfort of the ride itself.
That's quite different from what we might expect in other markets.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It reflects a cultural emphasis on personal space and comfort in a densely populated environment.
Okay.
For many Chinese drivers, their car is kind of a sanctuary,
Right.
a place to escape the crowds
Right.
and find a moment of peace.
So they're not just selling cars, they're selling a sense of personal space and tranquility.
And this insight informs other features that they're emphasizing,
Really?
like autonomous driving capabilities
Okay.
with limited parking and a preference for not running engines while parked. Features that kind of help with maneuverability and minimize idle time are highly valued.
So they're really tailoring their approach to the specific needs and cultural context of the Chinese market.
And there's this quote that really captures their evolving mindset.
Okay.
It's not the Japanese manufacturer making cars for Chinese, but probably it'll be better to enable Chinese people to make better cars for Chinese consumers.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like they're really embracing this more collaborative,
Right, yeah.
localized approach to product development.
But how are they navigating the political landscape, particularly in the U.S., where the recent election has introduced a level of uncertainty?
Yeah, they acknowledge that political change can impact the automotive industry, but they're emphasizing a consistent strategy of being the best-in-town company, regardless of who's in office.
That sounds like a pretty diplomatic way of saying they're going to stay the course
Yeah.
and focus on what they do best.
And they're backing that up by continuing to invest in understanding local needs
Right.
and delivering products that meet those needs.
Okay.
Whether it's fuel efficiency standards
Right.
or safety regulations,
Right.
they're aiming to be a leader in compliance and innovation.
So it's about adapting to the local context while staying true to their core values.
Precisely. And for Toyota, that means upholding their global commitment to mobility and freedom of movement.
Right.
They're not letting these political headwinds deter them from their mission.
It's clear that Toyota is navigating a very complex and ever-changing landscape.
Yeah.
They're facing production challenges, fierce competition, and political uncertainties. Yet they seem determined to emerge stronger and more innovative than ever before.
And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
Yeah.
We're seeing a company in transition, but one that's clearly committed to its core values of quality, innovation, and this people-centric approach.
Right.
It's a story that's still unfolding.
Yeah.
And I'm eager to see what the next chapter holds.
Me too.
Yeah.
It really is a fascinating story. Like, we're watching them kind of write the playbook in real time.
Yeah.
But speaking of playbooks, let's dive into their financial performance a little bit.
Okay.
Those second quarter results were a bit of a mixed bag, weren't they?
Yeah, there were definitely some ups and downs.
Yeah.
They managed to post a solid operating profit of 2.46 trillion yen, even with those production hiccups we discussed, and some one-time expenses related to the certification issues.
Okay, but their net income took a dip.
Yeah.
And they went into a lot of detail about how foreign exchange fluctuations played a role in that. Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Sure.
For those of us who aren't fluent in finance speak.
Of course. Think of it this way. Imagine you're running a lemonade stand,
Okay.
but you buy your lemons from another country.
Right.
If the value of your currency goes down compared to theirs, those lemons suddenly become more expensive,
Right.
cutting into your profits.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that their core business is underperforming.
Right.
It's just that these global currency shifts can make the numbers look a little wonky.
Exactly. And Toyota was very transparent about that in their briefing.
Okay.
They emphasized that this drop in net income doesn't reflect a decline in their actual operations.
So it's a bit of an accounting quirk.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand the bigger picture.
Right.
What I found really encouraging is their commitment to investing in their people. Even while, streamlining operations,
Yeah.
they're increasing spending on human resources, which seems to send a pretty strong message.
It certainly does. They're allocating a significant portion of their budget to human resources and growth areas, a total of 830 billion yen for the full fiscal year.
Wow.
This suggests that they see their workforce as a key driver of future success.
And they're not just investing in their own employees.
Right.
They're also providing support to their suppliers. It's like they're trying to lift the entire industry up with them.
That's a great observation. They're taking this holistic approach.
Right.
Understanding that their success is intertwined with the well-being of their partners.
Yeah.
And it's not just about financial support.
Right.
It's about working collaboratively to identify and overcome challenges.
They keep mentioning going to the Gemba and working side by side with their suppliers. It sounds like they're very hands-on.
That hands-on approach is really a core principle of the Toyota production system,
Okay.
which emphasizes continuous improvement and respect for people at every level.
Okay.
It's about fostering a culture of collaboration and problem solving,
Right.
not just dictating solutions from the top down.
And it seems like this culture extends to their own internal operations as well.
Yeah.
They're very open about the certification issues they faced and how they're using that experience to learn and improve their processes.
Yeah, this willingness to acknowledge mistakes and learn from them is a real hallmark of Toyota's culture.
Right.
They see challenges as opportunities for growth.
Right.
And that's evident in their approach to everything from production hiccups to these evolving customer relationships to their investment in new technologies.
So even though they're facing some headwinds, they're approaching them with this sense of optimism and a long-term vision.
Right.
But what about their plans for the future? How are they planning to navigate this rapidly changing automotive landscape?
Well, one of the key themes that emerged from their briefings is this idea of expanding their value chain.
Okay.
Going beyond simply selling cars and exploring new revenue streams through this wider range of services.
Right.
They really want to build a stronger ecosystem around their products.
This sounds familiar. It's
Yeah.
like they're recognizing that the car itself is just one part of a much larger mobility experience.
You're exactly right. And they're leveraging technology to create those new experiences.
Yep.
They're talking a lot about software-defined vehicles and how that's a key driver of future growth.
So it's like they're transitioning from a car company to a mobility company.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about, enhancing that customer experience. They personalized services,
Right.
new ways to interact with vehicles, and ultimately making mobility more seamless and enjoyable.
And they're also in a unique position to leverage their existing strength,
Right.
their global manufacturing network and their understanding of diverse markets to establish themselves as a leader in this new era.
Precisely. They're not starting from scratch.
Right.
They're building upon this solid foundation of innovation, quality, and customer trust.
Right.
It's a powerful combination.
But it's not all about technology and profits, is it?
Right.
They're also talking about sustainability and creating the better future.
Absolutely. They're very conscious of their role as a global corporate citizen.
Okay.
They're taking steps to reduce their environmental impact,
Right.
invest in renewable energy, and support communities worldwide.
So it's like they're trying to create a virtuous cycle
Yeah.
where their business success goes hand in hand with creating a more sustainable and equitable world.
That's a great way to summarize it. They view sustainability as integral to their business strategy,
Okay.
not just some side project.
It's encouraging to see a company that's not just talking about profits,
Yeah.
but about making a real difference. But let's be realistic.
Yeah.
There are challenges ahead. The automotive industry is transforming rapidly, and there are a lot of unknowns.
True, but I think what we've learned from this deep dive is that Toyota seems well-equipped to navigate these challenges.
Right.
They're adaptable, innovative, and they have a proven track record of overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, they're not afraid to take calculated risks, and they seem to have found a good balance
Right.
between their core business and their investment in new technologies and sustainability.
And let's not forget their unwavering focus on their people.
Right.
That's what makes Toyota such a fascinating case study.
Right.
They're not just building cars. They're building a better future.
It's inspiring.
It is.
But let's get down to brass tacks here.
Okay.
What are they doing today
Yeah.
to prepare for that future?
Right.
What specific actions are they taking?
Well, one area where they're making significant investments is in battery technology. They recognize the growing importance of electric vehicles and are working to secure their position in that market.
So it's not just about improving their gas-powered vehicles. It's about developing the next generation of EVs.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it's not limited to passenger cars either.
Okay.
They're investing in electric trucks, buses, even heavy-duty equipment.
It's like they're electrifying their entire product lineup.
And they're doing it with a focus on innovation and sustainability.
Right.
Think new battery chemistries,
Right.
exploring different charging technologies, and working towards a circular economy for battery materials.
So it's a very holistic approach.
Yeah.
Not just the cars themselves,
Yeah.
but the entire infrastructure needed to support them.
That's a key point, but they're not solely focused on hardware.
Okay.
They're also investing heavily in software and digital technologies.
So it's not just about building smart cars.
Right.
It's about building a smart company as well.
Exactly. They're using data to improve their manufacturing processes,
Okay.
personalize the customer experience, and develop new mobility services.
It seems like they're kind of transforming into a tech company
Yeah.
with this deep understanding of the automotive industry.
And that's what gives them a unique advantage.
Right.
They can combine their traditional strengths with their newfound expertise
Right.
in software and digital technologies
Okay.
to create something truly innovative.
It's an exciting time to be watching Toyota.
It is.
But with all this focus on technology and innovation,
Yeah.
how are they ensuring their workforce is ready for this transformation?
They're investing heavily in training and development programs to upskill their employees and prepare them for the jobs of the future.
So it's not just about bringing in new talent.
Right.
It's about nurturing the talent they already have.
Precisely. They recognize that their employees are their most valuable asset,
Right.
and they're committed to providing the tools and resources they need to thrive in this new era.
It's really impressive to see that level of commitment to their people alongside their drive for innovation.
Yeah.
But let's circle back to their financial performance for a sec. What are their projections for the rest of the fiscal year?
They're projecting an operating profit of 4.3 trillion yen for the full year,
Okay.
which would be a significant improvement over the last year.
So they're anticipating a strong finish to the year.
They are. They're banking on a few key factors.
Okay.
First, a recovery in their production volume.
Right.
They're confident they've resolved those certification issues
Okay.
and that their plants will be operating at full capacity soon.
Hopefully no more production roller coasters.
Yeah.
What else are they counting on?
Continued strong demand for their vehicles,
Okay.
particularly in North America and Asia.
So they're confident that their vehicles are still resonating with customers?
Mhm.
What makes them so sure?
Well, new product launches
Huh?
and a continued focus on enhancing the customer experience
Mm-hmm.
are key components of their strategy.
It sounds like they're firing on all cylinders.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And they're doing it all while staying true to their commitment to sustainability and their people.
Right.
It's a winning formula,
Yeah.
and one that's likely to keep Toyota at the forefront of the automotive industry for years to come.
It's a really exciting time to be a Toyota fan.
It is.
But beyond the business side of things,
Mm-hmm.
what are they saying about the bigger picture?
Yeah.
What's their vision for the future of mobility
Right.
and their role in it?
They're talking about creating a world where everyone has access to safe, affordable, and sustainable mobility.
So it's not just about building cars for the elite.
Right.
It's about making mobility accessible to all.
Exactly. And they're thinking about mobility in a broad sense.
Okay.
It's not just about cars.
Right.
It's about finding new ways to move people and goods efficiently and sustainably.
Okay.
Public transportation, ride sharing, maybe even flying cars.
Flying cars.
Yeah.
That's a future I'd love to see.
They're definitely thinking big,
Yeah.
and they're not afraid to explore unconventional solutions,
Right.
but they're also very grounded in their approach,
Okay.
starting with small steps, pilot programs,
Right.
and learning from their experiences.
So it's not just about dreaming big. It's
Yeah.
about taking action and turning those dreams into reality.
Exactly. And it all comes back to those core values
Right.
of quality, innovation, and respect for people.
Okay.
That's what makes Toyota such a compelling company to follow.
Right.
They're not just building cars. They're building a better future.
A future I'm excited to be a part of.
Me too.
But with all this talk about their grand vision,
Yeah.
I'm curious, what concrete steps are they taking today to make that vision a reality?
Mm-hmm.
What initiatives are really pushing the boundaries of mobility?
Well, one area where they're making significant progress is in the development of autonomous driving technology.
They're not letting the past hold them back, but they're also not rushing headfirst into the future. It's a delicate balance.
Exactly. They're taking a measured approach, carefully evaluating both the benefits and the risks of these new technologies, and always prioritizing their people and their values in the process.
It's a formula that seems to be working for them.
Yeah. It's likely to keep them at the forefront of the automotive industry for years to come.
I agree. And I think what I find particularly impressive is that they're not just content with building better cars. You know, they're using their knowledge and their resources to address some of the larger issues facing our world today.
Right.
From climate change to accessibility to social justice.
It's like they're not just a car company. They're
Yep.
a company that's trying to make a real difference.
That's what makes them so compelling.
Yeah.
You know, they're a company with a conscience, using their position and influence for good.
It's really inspiring. And it makes you wonder, as Toyota continues to evolve and redefine what mobility means, what role will they play in shaping the future of our cities, our societies, and even our planet?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
This deep dive has really revealed a company at a crossroads.
Yeah.
Grappling with challenges, embracing opportunities. It's a story that's still being written, and it'll be fascinating to see how it unfolds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we can see some clues, I think, in the decisions they're making today.
And one thing that really stands out is their commitment to their workforce. You know, they're investing heavily in training and development, especially in areas like AI and data analytics.
It's a recognition that their people are their most valuable asset,
Right.
and that their skills and adaptability will be critical in this new era of technological advancement.
They're not just embracing automation, they're empowering their workforce to thrive alongside it.
And this commitment to their people extends beyond their own employees.
Right.
They're also working to ensure that their suppliers have access to a skilled and stable workforce.
Okay.
So it's about strengthening the entire ecosystem,
Right.
not just their own internal operations.
It's a very holistic approach, and it makes me think about something we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Their focus on Gemba, going to the real place to identify and solve problems.
Yeah.
It seems like that philosophy is really deeply ingrained in their culture.
It's definitely more than just a slogan for them.
Yeah.
It's a way of thinking, a commitment to understanding the realities on the ground, and working collaboratively to find solutions.
And it's a philosophy that seems to be guiding their approach to everything.
Yeah.
From, production challenges to global market expansion to even the ethical implications of AI.
You're absolutely right. It's a thread that runs through all of their initiatives, and it's one of the things that makes them such a unique and compelling company to study.
So as we look to the future,
Yeah.
what are some of the key trends or areas of focus that you think will be most important for Toyota?
Well, I think their continued investment in sustainable technologies will be crucial.
Okay.
We've talked about their work on electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cells,
Right.
advanced materials, but I think we'll see even more innovation in those areas as they strive to reduce their environmental impact and contribute to a more sustainable future.
It seems like sustainability is more than just a buzzword for them.
Right.
It's a core part of their DNA.
I agree. And I think their focus on data and AI will continue to be a major driver of their evolution. They're already using these technologies in some really innovative ways, and I expect we'll see them push the boundaries even further in the coming years, especially in areas like personalized mobility experiences
Right.
and the development of smart cities.
It's fascinating to think about how those technologies will shape the future of our world and what role Toyota will play in that transformation.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And while there are undoubtedly challenges ahead, I think Toyota is well positioned to navigate those challenges and emerge as leader in the future of mobility.
Well, this deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about,
It has.
from their commitment to their workforce,
Hmm.
to their focus on sustainability, to their exploration of these cutting-edge technologies. Toyota seems to be a company that's constantly evolving
Yeah.
and striving to make a positive impact on the world.
I couldn't agree more. It's been a fascinating journey exploring the complexities of this global giant, and I'm sure they'll continue to surprise and inspire us in the years to come.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Toyota. We hope you found it insightful and engaging, and if this has sparked your curiosity to learn more, we encourage you to explore the sources that we've discussed and continue your own deep dive into the future of mobility. Until next time.